When we're doing group consultations, we're often asked a lot of quite technical questions. So they can put you on the spot a bit. It does mean that it tests your knowledge, but that's great. But what's even better is that actually very often our boring explanations are hijacked by patients telling much more relevant and much more meaningful stories. And I give you a wonderful example, one of my favourites. I was doing a group consultation for some COPD patients, and a gentleman asked me why he needed to keep taking his tiotropium inhaler because he wasn't sure it was making much difference. So I launched in, as we always do in consultations, into an explanation as to what tiotropium does, how it works and why it's beneficial, and you might not notice it working in the background. Halfway through my slightly dull explanation, the patient sitting next to the gentleman who'd asked the question piped up, and she said, "Doctor, close your ears." I thought, this is great. There's a good story coming. I said, "It's all right. You can say whatever you want to say, whatever you need to say." And she then told a story of how she had gone on holiday herself a few years previously and she'd forgotten her tiotropium inhaler at home. She'd gone to a local pharmacy, and because of the toings and froings about getting a prescription up for her from home, it had taken her a couple of days before she'd had that inhaler back again. And that in those few days, she'd really noticed a deterioration in her breathing and she felt she was much less well. Now that story was so much more powerful than any dry explanation I could ever give as to why tiotropium is an important thing to keep taking and why you might not notice it working. The patient was really happy with the explanation he received, and equally the whole of the rest of the group were really happy to share their stories. This is the kind of thing that comes out in group consultations time and time again. Really helps.